morning, Mr. Lizard. And hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, we headed down to Delray Beach, Boca Raton area for the weekend, and our first stop was here at the Delray Beach Historical Society, and they have two amazing exhibits that you can come and visit right now. So one of them is on World War II, a home front, and it's about how this area was a major part in World War II and with the radars that were used in the planes to look for those submarines. And I highly recommend you guys come here and check this out. So it's only $5 to come to the museum, and they have so much information. It is a small little museum. Like I said, it's just two little exhibits that you can come and see, but they're so packed full of so much information and just so much knowledge that they have put together within this small little museum here. So the ladies are super sweet. They'll give you all kinds of information that you could possibly want about the area. They have two films that you can watch as well. One is on the radars that were implemented in the planes here, and then the other one is on African Americans during World War II. There's some great exhibits about the African American involvement during World War II as well. And there's also some great local stories about different soldiers that were here. The second part of the museum, which is down over here in this other building, they have a lot of information about the beginnings of Delray Beach and this whole area, and a lot of information about Florida in general too, about the pineapple farms, mosquitoes. There's actually some information on mosquitoes and how it dealt with farming. And it's just a great small little museum to stop by when even if you're traveling from like Central Florida down to Miami. It's a great place to just stop, take a break, and check out this great museum. They also have a garden that you can come look at as well. Located along the rail line here in Delray Beach, where the Bright Line runs, is this adorable train station. Now, this is only a portion of the train station that was originally here. Now, this section was originally built in 1896 by Henry Flagler's railway, the Florida East Coast Railway Company. And they expanded it in the 1920s to there was a ground level with waiting rooms, and then there was another area that was the freight area. And then they did some additional construction in the 40s. In the 1960s, they discontinued passenger service, and it was scheduled for demolition. Now, the community got together and stopped that destruction of the building. And in 1968, the remaining portion of the freight sections was split apart into two parts and moved. Now, there was a fire in 1984 that did damage the 1920s portion that was built, but this here is the remaining portion that was from the original section in 1896, which was moved here, which was done by the Historical Society that we just visited. So they did the restoration on this in 1994 and moved it here, and is now a surf shop. You can come in, go inside and check it out. The restoration is really great inside. But yeah, it's right along the rail line here where the Bright Line goes by. If you haven't checked out my Miami video, we actually rode the Bright Line that came right through here. And that was one of the reasons why we decided to come to Delray, because we saw this little place right here while we were on the train, which is a pinball arcade place, and we wanted to check that out. And so that's why we decided to come here, because that building is so cool. After we left the train station, we walked down this cute kind of little historical area of town. There's a lot of restaurants and shops, some surf shops and stuff. and we happened upon the old school square. Now, when I looked it up, it said that an elementary school that was ages, years from 1st grade to 12th grade was originally here, and it started in 1913. Now, as the population continued to grow, they decided to add a high school onto this piece of land as well. The piece of property, it said, is 5 acres. So they added a high school here as well. And that high school continued to stay open here on this location until its final graduating class of 1949. Now, due to population growth and integration is why they decided to close the high school here, and they built a new one a little north of here. Now, the elementary school continued to stay here on this piece of property, and it actually did not leave here until the 1980s, when it was determined that the piece of property and the buildings were starting to be in disarray, or just they needed a lot of repair, and so they decided to build a new school. Now, the Historical Society did end up taking control of the property with the city, and they did restoration to the buildings and the piece of property to maintain its historical value. Now, the Cornell Art Museum now houses this piece of property, and they have different art exhibits that you can go into, and different like musical events and stuff that happen here as well. I will put a link down below for their hours if you wanted to come visit while you are in town. So we went inside and checked out Silverball. It is a great retro pub arcade. I did not film inside because there's a lot of kiddos in there, and it's pretty busy in there, but it is definitely a great stop. You can see it is raining. It's kind of hard to see, but it is raining some. And so it was a great place to stop and go inside while it was raining and play some old retro games. They had all ages. They had new ones. They had ones going back to like the 50s and earlier. It was so much fun in there playing. It's $20 to go in, and you can come and go as you please, or you can do like a half day. I think that was 15, or just an hour. For those that drink, they do have happy hours, and they have a late night special where if you come after 10 o'clock, I believe it was $10. So definitely come check it out, play some retro pinball games, and have lots of fun. Well guys, it looks like the video is going to have to come to an end today as the weather is getting a little worse. But don't worry, tomorrow I'm going to go out and explore Boca Raton and see what I have to find over there. Don't forget guys, go out, keep exploring, having fun, and learning as always. Bye guys.